What the flick, everybody? Homeland, season 5, episode 3, superpowers. So I saw some mocking of this episode on Twitter. Yeah, from like just the notion of the off. I'm great off. I'm sharp off my meds. And then that whole.
But that's a real thing though. There are people that want to go off their meds to experience things. That they
there's a whole book whose title now just flew out of my head by the cartoonist Ellen Forney about worrying that if she started treating her bipolar condition, that she would somehow lose her artistic ability, and like she wanted to be in the club with Van Gogh, and those guys, and so that I thought I bought.
Yeah, no, I didn't. It just made me think: did I miss something? And was this? And because I am predisposed to liking the show and liking Carrie, and obviously liking Claire Danes, that am I missing something? That this was actually much more awkward or painful than I thought it was.
I mean, I think you could make the case that the show was. It's sort of like how do we make this happen again? Like,
right.
when in sequels, how do we do the thing that we already did before that has no reason to happen again?
Yeah, but so it made sense to me.
I thought that they found a context that worked, and I'm glad they got the kid out of the picture so we don't have to be thinking about the kid for the rest of the show.
And she had somebody who cared about her, who she thought, well, I can do it if I'm around him because he'll protect me, and which, of course, didn't work out.
Yeah, well, the whole notion of like, well, that's when you'll tell me to take my meds. You go, that'll work.
Right,
that's going to totally work. Yeah.
Did you know, when did my wife beat me on this of figuring out who the woman was who we were seeing at the beginning with the two kids? Like I
did not.
I thought that was a target, and then.
I guess you're led to believe it was target, but I mean,
I thought like Quinn was going to be taking her out instead of going.
But I mean, the name is Mathis. I mean, he's writing Mathis. That's what he's writing. Yeah,
but he hadn't finished the name, so maybe it was But anyway, so. Then let me just dispense of anything. I'm with you guys. I thought that was a viable way of getting us there. Why would Quinn have arrived at the house and gone into the woods himself? Like, is he looking to take up a position in the woods?
Well, he went to the woods because he got shot, so he knew where she was.
No, he didn't get shot until he went into the woods.
He went into the woods.
Parked into the woods and then got shot by.
He parked. He was going toward the house. She shot him.
I thought he went through the woods.
No. He came around through the woods after she shot him and figured out, that's where Carrie.
I thought he was in the woods first. Anyway,
I thought he was in the woods.
No, she's at a distance. She's seeing him go from the car to the house, shoots him, not noting that he's wearing a vest. He sneaks around behind her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that part clearly is what happened. So, and we'll get their conversation, obviously, which is what because what's inconceivable is that he was going to do anything other than help.
Although I think they wanted to make you think he might kill her because he had kidnapped a kid. I think that was the whole idea of him kidnapping the kid was to make you think he's gone off the rails.
Right. And the two
he might actually
we saw him kill two people with.
He's
been complete dispatch,
without breaking a sweat.
Yeah, they've set him up to make you think that he might actually do it, and then they wouldn't do that. So.
Right, they're not there. Right, Quinn, still not going to do it. It's still his girl. That scene with Quinn and his German, his incredibly sexy ex-German lover, that was good.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
I will say I did not see Saul, Lady Killer, coming.
No, not until she. My wife was all over it. One, she was like, "That woman must be Quinn's wife. Those are his kids."
Ginger.
Lawyers, right? Ginger, thank you. That's what's going to be now. And I was like, oh, that's good. And then as soon as she's in there, she's like, Saul.
I'm
like, you are getting fantastic.
As soon as Miranda Otto, as soon as you saw that scene and she's yelling out to somebody, I thought, oh, it's Saul.
Yeah.
Because there's no one else. Who else would it be? The shot is set up to be a reveal. So, what's the only thing going to be a reveal? Saul.
What's amazing is how many things I still get wrong because I see the reporter, right? We see Laura Poitras see that the disc she puts in is not, and then we see the conversation with Newman, who used his own name. That was a great.
I know.
Call me Newman, and then it turns out. Because that's my name. That was a really great. This is not a professional spy moment.
No, that was actually. I like where that's going because, as soon as you saw that she didn't have a real thing, but he clearly thought he'd given her something real.
But I still thought, that's just his opening to the real thing. Like, I still until
behind that, there's a whole file.
It took me. There's like 18 minutes later when I'm like, the guy stole it. The guy stole it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So obviously, then that's going to put all of them at significant risk. And I like the balance we're playing with. They're not. This is not 24. This is not a 24 version of badass Americans and how we handle things. The conversation that Saul has with During, which was good too, when During says the worst thing that happened to the world over the last 15 years is American foreign policy.
Yeah.
That's not a he doesn't that doesn't read like, oh, that's what the crazy lefties think.
Right.
Like that's
well, no, I'm sorry. Finish.
No. I just did that. I like that too because they're walking a difficult line here between just saying that this is a dangerous place.
Well,
where
and
I love Saul's conversation with Itai, where it's like, no, we're out of the overthrowing Arab, the business, and then immediately with our, oh no, we're overthrowing that guy.
Oh no, yeah. During saying that about foreign policy, the conversation with the Israeli, and then like the scene with Dar. Oh no, we're really doing that. That is the three-pronged, like we're leading to this reveal that we're actually and then the fact that the Russians are now getting involved because that's who the guy wants to sell the information to.
Right.
I think it's going to be a Russia-Syria storyline.
So dumb. Because again, I thought that I'm like, what is he bluffing? He's just saying he knows where it is, but the other he doesn't have it. I'm like, pay attention, learn how to watch television. Yeah.
Dramatists love you.
Yeah, totally.
What?
No, and so it made me think that this is going to be a Russia-Syria storyline for the rest of the season. I think that's where it's headed.
It's looking that way. We have
and that lets them get some bad guys as white guys. Or some Caucasian, some
non-Arab,
some literal Caucasians.
Some non-Arab villains.
Which is maybe why Alex Gonzo was so like when the reveal about that.
We had to talk about the Homeland is racist graffiti.
That he was able to kind of I appreciate that they did that. So because you must know, we're going to have some non-Arab threats later on.
For anybody who missed that story, that when they were in the refugee camp last week, they hired these like 3 artists to kind of come in and create sort of Arab street graffiti on different walls.
And they shot it. They shoot in Germany.
Yeah, exactly. It's totally a set. And some of the stuff that they had in Arabic said Homeland is racist, and nobody noticed, and it aired on Showtime, and then suddenly people were like, hey. So that's a thing that happened.
And Alex Gonza, I thought they handled it incredibly well.
I think they handled it well.
Kudos to them.
You got to admire that level of
artistic rebellion. But it makes me think now that he's okay saying that because
he's going to have
he's got an ace in the hole.
So what do we think of Claire Danes' performance in this?
It was good because it was just slightly different from what we've seen her in previous seasons when she's been off her meds. Obviously, in the first season when she was off her meds, you're wanting her to find out this information, so you're kind of with her. But now you kind of know that it's a stupid thing she's doing, and so they kind of give you like the truly crazy version of what it's like to be unsettled.
Well, and last season she didn't realize it was happening. Remember they had that whole switcheroo with the drugs, and the ambassador's husband and stuff. And so this one was at least sort of it was a controlled burn.
And also,
she knew what was going
and her guilt is clearly so intense that took over actually, and not the part where she thought I'm going to figure this out, but like guilt took over.
Yeah.
And so she's sitting there with everything
as a target
around her, like they're all everyone's after me.
I really liked the scene with the ginger where it's all about like, these are the 170 people who were innocent civilians who were collateral damage. He's like, and you can just live with that? And but then it raised the whole thing like, well, but what's our ceiling of what we're willing to let happen to also get the bad guys? And there's no easy answer to which I like.
It's to call the show racist is
reductive.
Not quite. Yeah.
I mean, it's a show. I mean, that part of America that we're in is real, and dramatizing that strikes me as a good thing. Dramatizing it in what I would say a pretty healthy, broad-minded way. 24 was. If this is racist, 24 is 50 times more racist.
Sure. Way more.
So I think this is handled carefully, and here it is. We've got a plot point here about the killing of civilians, a significant plot point about the killing of
And
civilians.
I always love when Carrie puts photos on the wall and connects them with yarn.
And by the way,
I admire
when did
that.
this start? I'm just realizing, when did this whole thing start where that was the way you, like, who was the first person to do that? Was it somebody at the FBI like decades ago who solved it by putting
You
things
always
on
see like the
wall?
mob
I mean,
family,
Right.
I'm sure the Sopranos did it a few times, but
It used to be a sign of
Car-
crazy.
Carrie really does it. Just, I think, I missed, like, I kept saying when we were doing True Detective Season 2, I want one wall with photos and yarn because I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I want to see one time where Carrie is like out at the photo store to buy like
8x10 prints of everybody.
to get sort of a color cartridge for her clearly boss
I know.
color printer.
Right.
You know?
Wait till her kids are having to make like science fair projects, and she's going to be like, oh, here's Enrico Fermi and
Right, totally.
Marie Curie,
Yeah.
and every project's a yarn with the photos.
What about
the
the
hell?
kid? What about the kid? The hallucination with the kid?
Oh, with the med student?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was, like The Leftovers. Like, if you had a really great character you want to bring back, make him a ghost,
Yeah.
I thought that he, I think for as far as the viewers go, was as good a substitute or like maybe spokesperson for all of the people who died because of her larger goals as anybody else. He was one who we'd gotten to know over the course of the show. She slept with him, for God's sake. There was a lot happening there. So I thought he was a good choice for that.
Yeah, I was. There were just a couple things that I didn't love. I don't know. Something about that the whole thing didn't quite feel right. It just felt a little contrived. I thought we had a really nice scene with Ginger up until, it was still good, but up until the point where he said, "How can you live with yourself?" Because it was clear that's what he was thinking. He had to leave. He was bothered by it. And
Right,
then-
but I think you don't buy that scene until she makes him say it.
Right.
It's true. She does force him into it. Yeah, she does.
Yeah, I mean,
pursue him.
that is one moment of clarity she did have, is actually she understood what the whole point of the call was to him about the kid, is that, oh yeah, they're actually coming to get me now.
Yeah, her clarity,
Yeah.
like I
So
mean,
the
yes,
clarity, they give you a little bit of, so it's just that the overwhelming experience she was having was guilt, and she couldn't see the
And
big
then
hallucinations.
when he's silent, she can read that and be like, "What?
Right.
Now you can't even talk to me?"
Yeah. All right, but anyway, good stuff, and I like. Oh, what I really like too is her analysis of Saul. Also, like, who was she talking to when she said?
Oh, he sounds like Ginger. I think says he sounds like somebody who's used to getting what he wants.
yeah. Oh no, Otto During says.
During,
I
right,
didn't really like him.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, he didn't used to be like that. It's a way of saying to the fans, yeah, no, you have seen a significant transformation.
Oh no, yeah, I mean,
character.
we all loved Saul in that first season where he had that great episode where he talks to the young female terrorists in the barn or wherever they were, and you saw the warmth and humanity. But I have to say, this prickly Saul is fantastic.
No,
too.
no,
I think he's great.
Well, he's turned into Dar.
He's just great on the show.
Yeah, and I loved the scene with his scene with Allison about how she, how badly she'd fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Did you not think? I've known Dar 30 years. Did it not occur to you that was going to be a phone call? Right. Yeah.
And the scene with the ambassador.
Oh, and the ambassador was great.
I know.
She's a career intelligence officer, and you own a string of GM dealerships in Texas and Arkansas. Yeah, but also like a great moment there. Like, why would an ambassador to a real country be? And I don't know whether we do send a real ambassador to Germany or not. But the mere fact that big campaign
like
runners-
Holbrook was ambassador to Germany. I mean,
Right. Okay. So Germany probably gets a real ambassador, like England gets a real ambassador.
Yeah.
But Ireland didn't get a real ambassador. And tons of the
Where did we send Hormel? Luxembourg, right?
yeah. I mean, I don't care. Gay, straight, you got to bundle the money, and that gets you an ambassadorship. Like, there's nothing else we can do.
Look, one night in the Lincoln bedroom just won't cut it sometimes.
Yeah, man. I don't know. That is messed up, though. Both parts. That needs to stop. Career foreign service officers, you get to be the ambassador.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Thanks for watching. Back next week, episode 4, Homeland.